Go ahead.
Okay, it is 7:13 p.m. This is the Education, Culture, and Youth Services Committee meeting. I'm the chairman, Alex Ellison.
Lisa Bilala, committee member.
Dear Taylor, committee member.
Dear Taylor,
Dear
secretary.
Taylor, secretary.
And I'm
Just keep-
Cynthia, the chair of the board.
Just keep in mind, it was a little hard to hear Lisa, probably because of the distance from the phone.
Okay, I guess I'll pass it around maybe as we go. Okay. So first item on the agenda is to review the minutes. I think Jeremy was able to post the minutes from the last meeting as well as the minutes from April 2024.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So just in terms of attendance, obviously we have 3 people in person, but any idea about Wendy or Susan?
The last meeting, Wendy and Susan were both excused.
No, I'm talking about for tonight. I just want to make sure we get attendance for tonight.
So we should make a note of that.
I think my last conversation with Susan was that she was going to I have to double check my texts, but I think she was going to step away from the education committee and stay on bylaws, but I have to confirm that.
Okay, I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't heard anything from Wendy or Susan about them not coming to this meeting tonight. So
Yeah, last I checked the text scripts, only the you 3 responded. I could be wrong. But general policy is I just mark absent until I hear otherwise.
So Jeremy, September 5th, I had a back and forth with Susie. She wants to stay on bylaws, but she needed to step away from education.
Okay. So do you want to make that effective immediately then?
Yes, please.
All right. So I'll make that change in the spreadsheet.
Yep.
All right. I'll double check the text message scripts, but yeah. So I don't know. Chris is going to be off tomorrow, so maybe Monday or something. We'll update the website. All right. So then I'll double check the text scripts, but if we don't hear from Wendy, I'll just mark her absent. All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing, so yes, attendance is online. September is up there. The only edit I would propose is on the attendance sheet. We don't have Dear listed as secretary of the committee, so that's the only thing I would if you approve the minutes as they currently stand, that's the only change I would make to make them final, as well as get rid of the draft watermark. So it's up to you guys how you want to proceed.
for the attendance.
September
just
minutes, September 4th. I
list
know we
you
have
as
outstanding minutes in
you
the
as the secretary.
QU. Go ahead.
Okay. Just, oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So there's the attendance at the bottom. I hadn't seen that. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen so people online are able to see. Okay. Cynthia, can you see the
Yes.
minutes online? Okay. So I took a look at this. Dear, thank you very much for the minutes again. I think it looks good. Does anybody have think it needs any changes or?
Nope.
Okay. So it sounds like the only change we need to make is down here at the bottom, with the attendance listing Dear as secretary. So I move that we adopt these minutes, on the condition that the attendance is modified to list Dear as the secretary of the committee. Anyone second? Any opposed?
No.
Abstention? Great. Minutes are adopted. Let's move on to April 2024, which is a little bit more brief. And so this was mostly us just editing the survey and going over it. And then there's some notes about the gallery session. I think it looks good. Just check the attendance. I know for me that's correct. Does that look correct for you, Lisa?
Um, I I don't remember.
Gio, what about you? Does that look right to you?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, this is the April
Yeah.
minutes. Just a little delayed. Okay, so I move that we adopt these, the April minutes. Any opposed? Abstentions? Okay, minutes adopted. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a presentation from Veronica Arts Media about their after-school programs. I see Marita's here, who's the founder and CEO. I've been speaking with on the phone and via email. It's nice to see your face, and thank you for coming to our committee meeting.
You have her over her pictures.
Do you want to introduce yourself, Marita?
Yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
we can
Hi,
hear you.
everyone. My name is Balky, and as Alex mentioned, I'm the founder and CEO of Veronica Arts Media. Veronica Arts Media is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that was founded in the Bronx. I'm a Bronx native, and I created this program to really provide free arts and college and career programming to underserved youth, not only in the Bronx, but across all 5 boroughs. So I just wanted to talk through my presentation and give you a little rundown of my program. And then I have my intern, Alexis Cardo, who worked with me this past summer at Baruch College. She got to see firsthand and witness the different programs that we had and how this experience has helped her. And I am asking for a letter of support for future programming. So a lot of the times when I'm applying for funding, they may ask for a letter of reference. So I think that this will, just to have this in my toolkit, this would be great. And it will also help strengthen my organization and my proposal. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay, awesome. So sorry, let me just start from the first. So welcome to Veronica Arts Media. This is a snapshot of some of the girls that I worked with through the Young Women's Leadership in the Bronx. So as I mentioned before, I am a Bronx native. I went to Temple University for broadcast journalism. I also went to Relay Graduate School for Education. And I think through my experience working in the journalism side as well as the education side, I really seen that there was a need for free arts programming, especially in communities like the Bronx. I remember when I was 17 years old, I got my firsthand experience working at a nonprofit, but it was actually in Harlem. And I realized that there weren't any programs when I was my age for arts or journalism. And because of me having that experience, I was able to pursue it in my early on undergraduate years as well as my graduate years. And now Veronica Arts Media is just kind of like my ode to give back to the community that really discovered and helped me utilize my strengths. And I want to be able to give that opportunity for another young person that looks like me. And this is just basically our values. We believe in educational equity in the arts. We are committed to serving all people, regardless of background and race and salary and all of the things that are preventing students who may come from families that may not have the resources or have the money to participate in these classes. We're removing all of those barriers. We also promote youth leadership. We prioritize student voice, and not only to participate, but also to take the lead in their programs and everything that they would like to create. And then we also promote racial justice. We do believe that students are learning from what they see. So if they are creating media from want to change in their community, they're able to promote not only their voice, but they're also able to bring justice to the issues that they're facing in their communities. And these are some of our partners. We are partnered with Bronx Council of the Arts, New York Presbyterian, Uncommon Schools, Scholars for Educational Opportunity, Cornelia T. Bailey Foundation, the Pacino Foundation, and Teachers College, Kimberly University. And then some of our accomplishments, we are a 2-time recipient of the Bronx Council on the Arts Community Engagement Award. We are recognized for our creative empowerment and our programs through our media programs. We are formally honored by Councilmember Kevin Riley. We have a great relationship with him and his impact and commitment to educational equity throughout the arts. And over the past 2 years, we have forged partnerships with Uncommon Schools and Scholars for Educational Opportunity to provide media arts education programs to public school students. Our flagship program has equipped over 200 young people with hands-on training in filmmaking, podcasting, and digital storytelling. And our Film It Up program is one of our flagship programs where students learn hands-on training in digital storytelling, cinematography, and editing. Over the course of the program, participants write and direct their own short films, and a lot of their films are from underlying themes such as social justice, mental health, and community pride. We also have a culturally responsive curriculum. We're not only building technical skills and media literacy skills, we're building teamwork skills, how to work together, how to navigate through challenges, how to come together to create one idea that can get their idea across and their thoughts and their talents. How can they come together and create a cohesive film and body of work that they are really proud of? They also receive mentorship. All of our teaching artists are skilled and trained in digital media, and they showcase their work at community screenings. We hope that they will be able to take this tangible resource that they have, this portfolio, and they can use it to apply to internships or college applications. We also have a Mic It Up program. It's our youth podcasting and storytelling program that students are able to get all of aspects of audio production and podcast. They learn everything from storytelling to interviewing to recording and editing, and they explore and talk about things that are facing their generation. I think Generation Z is really, it's a unique generation because they have access to things that growing up I didn't have access to, such as technology and social media. So I think to see what types of issues that are impacting them and being able to have a mic to tell their story. And not only that, they're using professional equipment that they would use if they were to go into a professional news station or a radio station. So I think this is a really great experience for students to really talk about what they're experiencing. And in this picture, you can see that these are some of the students who participate in SEO. It's an 8-year free high school and college program that helps students get into college from low, underserved communities. So they're talking about their experience and how they're able to navigate having to go to regular school as well as do a program that requires their attention during the week and on Saturdays. And Alexis, who is my intern, she is also part of the SEO program, and she can talk more about that as well. And then, yeah, these are some of the things that we always want to make sure that students are gaining. So their voice and their agency. Literacy is something that is not only just for ELA, but they're learning those skills that they can take with them in their classroom. So they're learning about scripts, outlines, without feeling like extra school. They're building their reading and writing and speaking and listening skills. They're learning camera, audio, editing software, skills that are transferable for any career. And they learn to look at sources, how they do their research, how do they identify bias. And this will help them as they are being informed citizens and they are making decisions for their political and any other things that they have in their future. And then also social emotional growth. They're learning about self-management, how to have resilience, how to keep going and say the scene over and over again until they get it right, or say their lines over again. And if they keep messing up, they're building that confidence with them. They're learning teamwork, leadership, and they're able to explore different careers. Not, I think the traditional careers is always tech, or go to media, or go to nursing or health or career, and those things are great, but what about those skills that could really ignite a passion in them that a lot of people don't really talk about? And then the Bronx is home to a lot of creative, resilient, beautiful people. They do not have that resources that other boroughs have, and it's has to do a lot with from research and just all of the things that were put into place back then, but we're in a new generation now. And I think that nonprofits have an ode to the Bronx and owe the Bronx, especially arts organizations. They owe it to our youth to create a safe space for students to feel seen, valued, and heard. Barriers, whether it's through stipends or internships, remove those barriers that may be hindering students from attending these programs. And your proposal, your letter of support will strengthen our proposal for future funding in the Bronx, and it will help youth, just like those people in our picture, give a chance for them to be seen and heard. And that's about it. I'm going to let my intern Alexis talk about her experience as an intern and seeing the programs firsthand.
Hi, my name is Alexis. As those who don't know me, I'm an 11th grader at SEO Scholars, and I served as an intern at Veronica Arts Media. And I would say that the slides that Marita presented was definitely catered to the youth. I think that it was able to allow students to express their creativity. It was so satisfying to see students who are usually quiet come out of their nutshell and express themselves authentically. I think that students having the ability to express themselves, even while the program is promoting diversity, racial equity, and public speaking for all, is very important. During this internship, I learned various skills about the industry that I wasn't familiar about because I'm not really interested in film making. But after the program, I would definitely say that it's something that I enjoyed. And I think that the skills that I learned were leadership and being able to cooperate in various situations, being able to help students voice their opinions and express themselves while also having fun, even while they had a rigorous program in the summer. I think that the last day of programming was one to remember because it was Marita's birthday party, and it was really fun because the students were able to present their podcasts, their creative films. And through the films, a lot of students were able to see the changes that needed to be implemented in SEO Scholars. Mic It Up is a prime example of how young students were able to develop their public speaking skills, being that public speaking skills is a skill that many students don't really enjoy, or it's a skill that they lack. And I would also say that it was an honor to support Veronica Arts Media in allowing students to incorporate their creativity while using technology, the computers, and the mics. It was really, really fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Alexis.
No
Have
problem.
a good night.
Can I go now? Sorry.
Mhm.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Marita, thank you so much for that presentation. It was really looks like a fascinating and fun program. And just a little bit of background for, I think, some of the committee members and are familiar with sort of the back and forth me and Marita have been having, but she had reached out to me a few weeks ago about getting a letter of support for a specific program she was applying for, but we weren't able to get that letter out by the program application deadline. So then we started talking about, well, maybe we could provide a general letter of support so if future, I think, future funding opportunities arise, she might be able to use that to get something going in our district. So that's sort of where we're at now. And we have drafted a letter of support that the committee can vote on, but want to see if any of the committee members have any questions for Marita about the program.
Where's the program located? Is it only one location?
It's located in the Bronx. The Bronx, 10467.
Like a specific school, or are you in just various schools across the Bronx?
Yes, we're in various schools across the Bronx. Right now, we have a partnership with Girls Inc. So we currently have our Film It Up program. It's about to start in a couple of weeks. So we work with the school, the Young Women Leadership of the Bronx, that's on Morris Avenue. And then we also work with Uncommon Schools in Brooklyn, New York, 99 Jamaica Avenue. But a lot of the way that a lot of the programming works is that we have to continuously apply for funding. So we'll have the program, it'll be funded. And then, for example, we are working with Bronx Council of the Arts. So we received some of their funding for last spring. So we hosted the Film It Up program at the Young Women's Leadership of the Bronx. We did it in the spring and we did it in the fall. So now we have to wait for the award cycle to be opened, and then once it's open and if we are granted funding, we'll have that program again. But our location partner sites is with the Young Women's Leadership of the Bronx, Girls Inc., and then Uncommon Schools. And then we also have a yearly partnership with SEO. So we host about 50 high school students at Baruch College. First, we started off with our Film It Up program, and then recently we started off with our Mic It Up program. So we honestly want to still continue outreach in the Bronx, but it's so hard to get in contact with DOE principals. It's like I reach out hundreds of times and I don't get any response.
Yeah, I have a similar experience. What we do, yeah.
I would say try reaching out to parent coordinators. I
Okay.
think if you could also, if you have specific schools in mind, if you if you have a flyer, asking if you can give that to the coordinator or the secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Website looks great. It gives it's like very informational, so you get a quick snapshot of what the program is about. So I will kind of go that route, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
Can you drop your presentation? Are you okay with us sharing your presentation as part of our meeting minutes?
Yes.
Can you share? Can you do either a PDF or a digital link to the presentation?
Yes, I will.
I think the digital link would be better, just so that we could disseminate it to other folks. It'd be a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah, either
My
way,
personal opinion.
yeah.
So maybe both.
Okay, I don't know if Marita, if you want to just email that to me and I can forward it along to everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
And Marita, are you I know I think you were speaking with Kevin Riley's office, but is there anyone or any schools in our district or anyone in the district that you've been kind of looking at or communicating with? What's sort of your relationship with, schools in our district right now?
Yeah, right now. So I try to reach out to Eagle Academy in the Bronx. And yeah, that's about it. That's about it. But I've tried to reach out to a few schools. Like reached out to Bronx School of the Arts. and yeah, I haven't been getting anything.
Maybe. If you send me a list of schools that you're interested in, I could probably help outreach.
Okay.
Dear Lisa, I mean, do you, working with the DOE, do you have any thoughts on maybe schools in the district that might, benefit or be interested in this kind of program? Like any leads you could offer?
I mean, I'll immediately always think of my district because that's where I work, and so yeah, that's what I know. So I think there's a few principals I definitely could put you in touch with. Um, I mean, just off the top of my head, but and then I think some of the other schools that you mentioned, I like. I know I have friends who are teachers in the Bronx, and I can also tell them about it and see if they can speak with their principals if they're interested. It sounds
Yeah,
great. Like,
because uh-huh. So DYCD just released their RFPs for after school programming,
mhm.
and they have like about 800 contracts for it, but you need like a school to host the programming, like a community center or school. And of course, if I was to partner with a community center or school, there will be fees associated with the community center or any staff that want to take part. But like you had mentioned before, the biggest goal and hindrance would be like trying to reach out to a principal that would be interested in it. And I can send you the information for that. They just released it yesterday.
So also, like community centers as well might be someone you could partner with.
Yes, community centers. I can do schools or community centers.
Is this something Bronx House could host?
I feel like I've never really seen older kids in Bronx House, but I think there are a lot of older kids that work with kids over the summer, so they probably know a bunch of people that they could even, I don't know, maybe send that information to. I think any lead's a good lead, so I would say reach out to Bronx House as well.
Bronx House?
Bronx House.
Okay.
How about
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
I
forward you
believe.
there. If you want, Marita, I could.
Oh, they do
Oh,
have
they
Yeah,
members
do.
there.
I reached
Yeah.
out to them. They didn't respond.
I know their I can't remember his exact position.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know someone there. I can connect you with if you want to reach them and just see if it's
Okay.
something they could do.
Okay.
Um, and also, Derek, was there something you wanted to add?
Oh, yes. So I was going to say we could help with that. We're actually teachers and we know lots of principals.
So we could switch contact information. We can help
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
Uh, Derek, I can forward your email to Marita and
Yes.
she can reach. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so the motion we have on the agenda is to vote on the letter of support. I know I have that later in the agenda, but I think it might be appropriate just to do it now.
Yeah.
Let me share the draft letter, just to put it on the screen. Um,
I didn't have any issues.
okay, yeah, I think everyone looked at it and um, said it looks good. Uh, so here's the letter here. But I think everyone on the committee has read through it. Um, so I think we should just do that motion now.
Yeah.
So I move that our committee submit this letter to the full board and recommend that the full board vote in favor of this letter of support for Veronica Arts Media.
Before you make your final vote, just wait to hear from the gallery.
Oh, we should do the gallery first.
Yeah, just so you can hear, some, if there's anyone in the gallery, but just in terms of form or whatever procedurally.
Okay, so maybe that's why we moved it down in the agenda. Okay, well, Lisa actually had somewhere to be, so why don't we just open it up then to the gallery? Is anyone in attendance? I mean, we have what Maria here, and also Derek in attendance, I think.
Derek is the next presenter.
Who's the next presenter?
Yeah.
But does anyone? I guess we'll open up the gallery now. Does anyone want to weigh in?
I support.
You don't get to vote, Cynthia. yet. I don't see anyone. I know Maria, for doing the gallery, had
Oh, I think we lost Alex. I see Dier's phone.
Can you hear us?
us?
Now we hear you.
Oh,
Okay. So Maria, who's in attendance, is from organization Housing Solutions New York.
I work under Housing Solutions of New York. I think I came last year. I met Cynthia. I don't know if she remembers us. We're a program that works with young people 13 to 21. It's no cost to any schools or no cost to anyone. We basically are an educational program. So we work with young people 13 to 21 to we do workshops, 4-week workshops on how to cope with stress and anxiety. And after the 4-week workshop, we give the young people a $50 gift card. So basically what we do is that we meet with them, we'll do an assessment, wellness assessment, we'll do a psychosocial, just get to know them and then work with their stress and anxiety. If a young person is a red flag or a young person has a bit more of a need that we could offer, we also have mental health providers that we could refer them, and those young people are like put on their top list, and they get an appointment really quick, and we work with them while they meet with that therapist. We don't leave them alone with the therapist. We give a soft handoff, and we make sure there's that connection. But basically, we've gone through, I believe, New Directions is a school that we work closely with. We're connecting with Bronx Works. We work with after-school programs. We'll work with a young person individually. But I think the young people have fun in workshops. So we'll do a movie night or we'll do something fun and we'll connect it to mental health and how to cope with stress and anxiety. We work with the Department of Mental Health. They oversee us. And what else? We also, we try to table in all communities, be involved in the community. We try to introduce the young people to, how to cope with stress and anxiety, basically stuff that adults struggle with. We want to make sure that they get it before they become too, like I think at the age of 25, your mind is already developed. So if we could show them how to cope with their stress and anxiety, at least recognize their stress and anxiety, they're able to get the resources that they need. Instead of like being an adult and then we see the adults in the news that can't cope with their stress and anxiety. So we want to cut that chain and get the resources that they need before it's too late. So we do a 4-week program in after schools and high schools. And I definitely would love to connect with Veronica Arts Media.
Thanks, Maria. And you left some flyers here. Also, I said I would send you an email. If you want to email me that flyer, I can forward it around to
Definitely.
people as well.
Yeah. I don't know if your email's on this paper.
It's not. I can write it down
Okay.
for you.
Any questions on that program?
Is it in person or online?
It depends. Let's say there's some people who can physically make it to the location. If they can't make it to a location, we have vans that could pick them up. If they're more comfortable online, but we prefer sometimes this media world, they lose that physical, like that human connection. We prefer in person, but we try to work around the young person what's convenient for them. If they have, we'll give out Metro cards, we have vans, but if they still aren't comfortable with it, we'll do Zoom.
Okay.
We prefer in person because we lose that human
In
connection.
person
Yeah.
creates a connection, but that's great that you have that opportunity if they aren't able to make it.
Right. Okay. So we just work with the schools at their convenience. But like I said, it's no cost to anyone. we do give each young person a $50 gift card after the 4 weeks. They love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't.
How long? So it's a series of 4 workshops.
It's a series of 4 workshops. The first meeting is we do get consent if they're minors from their parents, or we get consent from them themselves. There's like maybe a half an hour of a psychosocial and a wellness check to make sure everything's okay. If there's a red flag, we do get our mental health providers involved.
Mhm.
When we do work with the schools, we work closely with the social workers. And sometimes the schools have young people that would like to join our workshops, so they'll refer them to.
And this is you said embedded in schools and the shelters, right?
Shelters, we have 6 shelters in the Bronx. Housing Solution, we're under Housing Solutions umbrella, but Building Resilience in Youth is the program, BRY, and that's monitored by the Department of Mental Health. And we just did our first youth committee with Housing Solutions. It's growing. They first started as I believe a homing shelters program, but now it's expanding. We have a food pantry in the Bronx for anyone in the Bronx. And we're just expanding more programs. So now we just want to get, we want to be part of the youth. I think that's such a major, people miss them.
Yeah.
Youth, I sounded like. Right?
The youths.
The New York accent, the youth. You gotta remember the youth.
I love that this is really like aimed at anxiety and stress. And I love that you mentioned, getting the youths while they're young, learning how to deal with anxiety and stress before they're adults, because
Right.
adults, I mean, it's a huge, I don't know. if
I worked
academics
in
are the word.
supportive housing,
Mhm.
and I worked with young adults older than 21, and
Yeah.
I've noticed that they never were able to cope with their anxiety and stress,
Mhm.
and it progresses. And
Right.
so, like I said, the mind is fully developed at 25, so it's harder once you reach a
Right.
certain age to change your
Old habits.
process of thinking.
Right.
So the whole point is just try to get them to understand it, understand mental health stigma, understand what mental health is, understand that it's okay not to be okay,
Mhm.
and the challenges that come with it, so that when they're adults, they're able to help stress in life. I mean, we as adults could barely handle it without having like a pound of Baskin Robbins or chocolate cake, and everything, But we're trying to break that cycle. We have it in all boroughs. There's BRY programs in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, but my program focuses on the Bronx.
Great. I think this sounds like a really great program.
Thank you. And if Veronica Arts Media, I have somebody in New Directions High School with a bunch of other high schools, I could definitely connect you with. Oh, did she leave?
No, she's here.
I'm here. Thank you.
I'll fill out that contact information on your website.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think that's everyone from the gallery, and Derek, sorry to delay your presentation a little bit by shuffling things around. I appreciate your patience. We'll get to your presentation in just a moment, okay? So back to the motion. So I move that our committee recommend the letter of support, recommend to the full board that the full board vote in favor of the letter of support for Veronica Arts Media. Any seconds?
I second.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Motion passes. Rita, thank you so much. The letter now goes to the full board's October meeting on October 23rd. Usually the board is, makes their decision based on the committee recommendation. If you do want to attend that meeting, you're welcome to join virtually. You're certainly invited, but it's not required. So, thank you so much for coming to our meeting and for your presentation. It was fantastic. But you're muted.
I said, Alex, you said you would send me the information for Derek and Dear.
Maria.
Yeah, I could pass. Maria, can I forward your information to her? And yeah, I'll send you an email tonight or
can add it to
tomorrow with everyone's contact info. And I think I'll try to put you in contact with Bronx House as well.
Oh, you'll send it to her. Send it to her.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
And thank you, Maria. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Maria. Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda, we have a presentation from Derek Guest, the founder of the Learning Route Vocational and Health Centers. Derek, thank you
Yeah,
so
of
much
course.
for coming to our
Say
committee
so as
meeting.
you
Good
want.
to see you again.
Thank you for having us. Myself and Alexandria Bowles
Hello.
is one of the co-founder of the Learning Route, which I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a minute here. Just let me know if everybody can see my screen. Let me put it into
Yep.
slideshow. Okay, so the Learning Route. So the reason, first of all, myself and Alexandria, we're both teachers. Alexandria has her certificate, a certification rather, as a assistant principal. I also have taught in the collegiate level as well as now in the high school level. I am also a parent of a young person who is no longer a young person, but now a young adult who has been through both charter and public school. So we have a vast knowledge of how the educational system works. And being both now who have worked in the DOE, we understand what works and what doesn't work. This is the reason why we created this nonprofit school that would house young people from the middle school level up to the high school level. Two sections of the school, one section would be an all-boys school, and the other section would be an all-girls school, and then it would be co-ed going into the high school level. And the reason why it's called the Learning Route Vocational and Health Careers is we wanted to give our children opportunities to gain marketable skills. Booker T. Washington always talked about in the progressive era about people of color being able to obtain a vocational trade, that he always felt like Caucasians or white people couldn't take that from African Americans when you had a trade. We wanted to go even further than that because W.E.B. Du Bois also argued about having an education. So we wanted to come from those two mindsets
And combine it too.
and combine the two. Where we give every student of color in the Bronx, particularly in the East Bronx, a opportunity to gain all kinds of marketable skills, whether they wanted to be on a vocational level or in the collegiate level. So our vision is this: we wanted to make a community-based pipeline for those who are geared toward health careers. Now, health careers doesn't mean that they need to be a nurse or a doctor, but they could. But they also can work as an orderly or a pharmacist or a dentist. Those
Medical billing.
medical billing,
Medical coding.
medical coding. There are so many careers that don't necessarily entail getting a 4-year degree. Some just require you to have certification. And once you have your certification and, of course, your high school equivalency, you then can go to the next level. So our mission is this: to prepare Bronx youth, because as Veronica Arts, the founder of Veronica Arts, said, there seem to be opportunities in other parts of the city that aren't from the Bronx. And here's the other thing about me and Alex: we both are from the South Bronx, right? So we are examples that great things can come out of the South Bronx if our kids are given the opportunity. We're both mostly educated, successful in our own right. So we want to give our kids the opportunity to show their full potential. So that's why this mentorship or this mission is like the way it is. And partnering with mentors and workforce partners will also help us get to that level. So who are we serving? We already talked about students in the East Bronx, focusing on underserved communities, as we also spoke about, but also immigrant families. As we well know, America is about opportunity for all. People coming in from all walks of life, trying to gain the best for themselves and their community. And we want to make the learning route the place for that, without it being a large sum of money to get to that particular goal. So why the East Bronx? So, the East Bronx faces shortage in, healthcare workers. It's down. There was at one time in COVID, I'm sure some people knew that they had a shortage of nurses. This would have been a great opportunity to have such a farming school such as this to kind of pump out these people that are needed in the community. So you're serving two sides. You're serving educational opportunities, but you're also serving the community with people who can help health-wise.
And why not now with their upcoming these opening of clinics, as we can see every year, there's more clinics, hospitals, things of that sort. So the positions for the students to then get in and be healthcare workers are needed to fulfill those positions and these new clinics and things rising in the community, especially the East Bronx.
And one of the things that the conversations that myself and Alex has is that the fact that, high school is great, as far as teaching the traditional core skills. The thing is some are trying to get better at is teaching skills that will lead to careers. There's still needs to be a tweak when it comes to that. So you come in, let's say I don't want to go, I talk about the example of one of my students, Jeremy, and in the school that I was in, they push college, which is great because, college does give you opportunity. But here's the thing. What if that's not for me? What about him? He said, when I said, well, hey, did you go to the college fair? He's like, no, I'm a plumber. He said that to me, right? So he already knew who he was, right? So what about kids like Jeremy who says, look, I just need to get that skilled trade to be able to accomplish my goals. We need to open up something that are geared to both sides. And that's what the learning route is. So as we told you a little bit about ourselves, I'm the executive director, entrepreneur, strategist.
And I'm Alexandria. As he said, I'm the academic director. I have started actually in District 75. I've also worked in high schools in District 11. I started as a para. I then became a special education teacher, and now I have a certified school building leadership certification. So, like as he said, we've seen what worked and what doesn't work. I've been in the DOE since 2007 to present.
Okay, so this is a little bit market analysis, and we think this is important because there, as we said, is an increased demand. It's either going to be higher as we go along because there's going to be more need. I know for myself, having an elderly mother, more people are living longer, right? Which means they're going to need more health care providers. And here comes a place where can provide for that. So we're looking for potential partners, hospitals, colleges, CUNY colleges, such as Hostess, also Jacobi, Einstein, we're also open to other hospitals as well as other collegiate level partners. And we're looking for an actual permanent home, which we're working toward. So we're targeting families, of course, in the East Bronx, high school students seeking vocational training. And by the way, those high school students will be mentoring our middle school, which we get more into. And here's our why our competitive analysis amongst other schools is that fact that we have that single gender school, middle schools when they first start. And Alexandria will get into more of that, why that is. And then local hospitals and community partnerships, as well as us having the ability to give our kids certifications and careers the instant they walk out of the school, rather than having to go to another 4-year school if that's something that they are not necessarily interested in or that is not their strength. This place will provide those opportunities, marketable opportunities for both sectors. And here's the community impact. 1,000 students over 5 years, a pipeline of Bronx-based health professionals, as we said, we're going to need, and strengthening hospitals and communities. We're helping both sides with that in the Bronx.
So we're doing that. We're pouring back into our community, and our community's pouring into our schools. So now we have our contextual academic data. So the objective for middle school, students be able to exit their middle schools with the foundations, confidence, knowledgeable on possible career interests when entering high schools. So now it's all about in middle school, making students aware and giving them an idea what health careers are out there. They start to explore. We don't expect them to know exactly, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, but they start to explore the different possibilities and their interests. Oh, I like working in the lab. I like drawing blood. Oh, I like helping this. I like working in this area before going into high school. Single gender middle schools. Why single gender middle schools? So the reason why we choose single gender middle schools is it helps eliminate the stereotypes that's created for academic performances. So for example, females, it's usually said females are not that great in math. Data has shown with Harvard, NYU data that the research we did, when females who are in single sex schools do better, 7 to 10% a higher rate in mathematics compared to females in co-ed high schools. So it's about building self-esteem and confidence when in single sex schools. Then our male students are usually willing to take more academic risk when they are in single gender schools. Unfortunately, ADHD and ADHD is found, once again, I'm a special education teacher, is found in our male students more so than female students. So the fact of having our single gender middle schools will help build the boys' confidence, keep them focused, less distractions, and once again that confidence is all the females around and able to take the academic risk if needed. But we will have activities though after school where they will see each other. The middle school, the two single gender schools will come together for certain programs that we have. So certain things we will offer in our middle school setting, of course, our STEM clubs, field trip to hospitals, NYU and Columbia Presbyterian, which is a program I was in years ago when I was in high school, have a lab program that you could start in middle school. So now in middle school, they're taking trips to these colleges and visiting these labs and working on these labs on Saturdays or after school. We have STEM enriched after school programs, and most importantly, like Derek mentioned earlier, our mentorship. Our high school students will mentor our middle school students, which will also keep back to the root. We're starting from the bottom up to the top. So they're showing them the ways, getting them into that transition from middle school to high school. Now, objective for high school students. Students will be able to graduate high school with the skills and internships fair towards their college and or health-related vocational trade success. So as Derek mentioned, we're going to hopefully have programs like EMT, programs for pre-nursing, programs that they will get certified, CNA, things they will receive before leaving. They actually have a program where they could get into a dental program at the last year of high school going into college if that's the route they want to go. So before they leave us in high school, they will have an idea, I'll be certified in this, or I'm going to go into this school, into this program. So why co-ed? Why co-ed now in high school? So in single gender, they have now built the confidence. They have now they have the ability to go into high school and they flourish separately, and now they're coming into high school to build the necessary foundations that they need. To come together in a co-ed high school is important to build communication, socialization, and collaboration to prepare them for workforce. Because when you're in the workforce, it's not single gender. The programs, once again, we offer in the high school are, once again, all the healthcare certifications along with their core classes and dual enrollment college courses. So by 12th grade, they will take college now courses along with their certifications. Now, once again, in high school, they will be mentored by some of the male staff, some of the college students at NYU, and the partnerships we have with the college students. And now our high school students, our 12th graders will mentor our 9th grade students, and our 11th graders will mentor our 8th grade students. And then once we have our first group of alumni, we then want them to come back to mentor our upperclassmen high school students. This will keep the flow pouring back into each other consistently. And the mentorships builds that social, emotional, and leadership progression. So if I have the alumni coming back, they're pouring back into our students as our students are pouring into community, and it's just an ongoing flow, which leads us to this quote. Train up a child the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from. Thank you. Any questions?
Sorry, okay. It's right there. Well, thank you for the presentation. I feel like I have a few different questions. First, I put it in the chat. Are you all familiar with the Bronx STEAM Center?
No.
It like kind of addresses some of the medical aspect of what you all are talking about, but it sounds like you all don't have like a charter yet, and you're like in the beginning phases of like figuring out what this particular school could look like. So just in terms of looking at different models that are geared towards the medical field and the sciences, this might be a good school to like, I don't know, visit and maybe like understand what that model has looked like. And I know that they are in this district or in Community Board 11 or 12, East Bronx, regardless. I think the model was really interesting. I was really curious about the single gendered middle school. I also am an educator. I've been in 6 through 12s the most of my career until I became an administrator, and I think there's pros and cons to having both genders together and separate at the middle school level. But I'm happy that you all addressed that with some data. And I had a question about, you said combining the philosophies of W.E.B. Du Bois, and who is the second philosopher?
Booker T. Washington.
Booker T. Washington.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Two very dynamic and also very different philosophers in their approach, especially when we think about how they thought about education and who and how they thought people should be educated in its own right. And it sounds like the program is trying to combine both of those unique philosophies in an interesting way.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm curious about is sort of what's next for you, because it sounds like you're sort of early in this process. So, because I know when you came to the meeting last week, we talked about how you thought that our district would be a good place for locating this school.
Right.
But kind of what's next, and what's sort of the plan going forward to open the school.
Well, we're already a nonprofit 501c. So we already have that established, trademark. So as we stated in the beginning, we're looking for a home. We want it to be in the Bronx. We're from the Bronx. We understand the Bronx. The Bronx needs us. The Bronx needs this school,
Yes.
right? So that's number one. And then, of course, those partnerships that we spoke about, partners that will help facilitate and help these youths as far as not only when they come out, even before they leave. And I think it would be a great opportunity for them because then they don't have to worry as much as far as looking for, presentable employees or people who they need to, start from the entry level and work their way up in their organization. They're going to know these people, these young people from their beginning all the way up until it's time for them to either start an internship and eventually become employees. And whatever career path they have is a perfect partnership and a perfect marriage, in our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Have you spoke with the DOE about a potential charter at all yet?
Well, as I said, I don't know if you're familiar when you say charter, like charter schools, there's a cap.
No, not charter school,
right?
But so you said you need a home, and in order, I feel like you'd have to go through the DOE first and foremost to get this proposal so that they would be able to greenlight the idea of this school being a thing anyway. So you'd have that year of planning. So have you in terms of talking with and organizing this idea with the DOE, have you what does that angle look like for you all?
Well, for us, the reason why we, because we work at the DOE, there are certain parameters for, being politically correct. They're not going to allow us to do the things that we need to do for our students.
Right.
That's the problem, right? We want this nonprofit to be standalone.
Yeah.
Right.
Not DOE.
Not DOE. Right. That's our main issue. Yes. And even in charter for a certain instance, like I was about to say, charter's a cap on charter in New York City. So we wanted this nonprofit to be able to move with more flexibility, inviting not only certified teachers to work in the school, but also trained professionals who will be able to work in the school without having necessarily a certification. So I can get, a coder, a billing coder, and come in and teach a class.
Right. Exactly.
Without, going through all of this red tape to get them to do it. And who better to teach my kids, especially at the high school level? Not saying that, a certified teacher, they're still going to need math and, history and English. That goes without saying. But we need to have also those others who from the community who can add to these young people's marketable skills that I can use as like we are stating as soon as I leave this place. If I choose to go to the 4-year level, I still have marketable skills that I can utilize. Like our kids, I know I had to, and so did Alexandria. I had to work and go to school. Yes. Children that leave us. One of our children had to work as a part-time EMT while they went to NYU. Right? That's our kids' stories. So now we're saying, hey, we'll give you the certification. And if you still want to go to 4 year, you'll still have a career. And maybe that career will get you into, the programs and the places that you want to even faster, because now you already have some connection to those organizations.
Well, I'm looking forward to see how you all continue to build this out. So it sounds like you're looking for a home and you're looking for partnerships is what you're looking for right now.
Yes. We know that Community Board 11 has a building committee and a land committee. We would love to be connected with those. I know myself and Alex have spoken about, potential partnerships with hospitals that he was aware of and potential partners. So that's what we're open to. And as well as Community Board 11 being a partner, we need community partners that know this community and are, again, we want to keep that flow going, and being connected and helping each other on multiple levels.
Great. Well, thank you so much for the presentation. I really appreciate you coming to our committee meeting.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess since we already did the gallery session, I don't know, Maria, do you have anything to add as a gallery member
No, to who?
for the presentation?
No,
since-
I mean, it was, sounds great because I know a lot of kids aren't ready for not every child is college ready.
Mm-hmm.
And having that able to come out of a high school with a trade is awesome. I know I went to Claiborne High School in Brooklyn
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't benefit because I was in the honors and programs where they just showed me the subject. So I couldn't go and say I need a part-time job. I have no trade.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is our, math, reading, and you can't get a job that way. But if you could come out of a high school saying I could do blood work,
Mm-hmm.
that would be awesome as a part-time job. Well, if you are ready for college, if you're not ready for college, you still have a trade.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I really wish some luck on that.
Okay. So next item on the agenda is the school survey. I don't know, I sent it out to everyone. Everyone thought it looked good.
You could say or go whatever you want. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I had one suggestion just after an explanation check section after how would you rate your school's relationship with your local police precinct. If people want to just go into detail, just I think I put it on the survey on the Google form. Good meeting you. If you would like to say more, you can say more.
Okay.
We can include that. We don't have to include that. I just thought about it.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll just add a spot for elaborating on their relationship with
Elaborate. Yep.
Yeah.
I've already added it, so
Okay.
but I'll change the language. And that's all I had.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of looking it over. I thought it looked good.
Yeah.
So, and I guess should we send it out as? I guess I'll update it as the Google form and send that out.
Yeah, I update. Yeah, I would update the Google form.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, I'll try to send that out in the next few weeks and hopefully we get some responses this time.
Yeah, no, me too.
Okay. I think that's everything. Any old business?
Not that I have.
Business.
No.
No? Okay, so I move, it's 8:20, I move to adjourn this meeting of the Education, Culture and Services Committee.
Second.
All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you. Good seeing you, Cynthia.
Good seeing you, Cynthia.
Have a great night, guys.
You too.
You too.